Well, Dimitri, thank you very much for joining me. A draw today, clean sheet record is gone. What's your thoughts and your plan of match for today, my friend?
Thoughts are obviously a bit disappointed. I did think it was going to happen at some point because the last couple of games, although we kept the clean sheets, there were opportunities for the other teams. And I kind of felt that we all brushed over those a little. But, just in the happiness of winning 2-0 all the time, it was brilliant. But you could see there were chances for us to concede. And today, unfortunately, we did. But really, I thought we played well considering we had 10 men. Man of the match would be... No one really shone, but I would think maybe Dazelle or Wilson. I thought, that sort of Titus Bramble moment was fantastic. I like that. He looked pretty composed the whole way through. And, we didn't concede too many chances. They had an awful lot of possession. It reminded me sometimes, a bit almost of us at times. Last season, maybe, when, all of that possession without really making it count. But, at the end of the day, I suppose as soon as we lost the man and everything, I guess unfortunately, you would take the draw. They did seem to be more in it than us. And the last sort of 25 minutes, I guess they probably did enough that they could have edged it. So, it is what it is. But bit more. I'm more concerned about the injuries. I think that's the saddest thing.
I thought it was just quite disappointing. They really just outplayed by MK Dons. I think from the first 5 minutes, MK came straight out of the blocks. It's just got that lucky goal, which I was quite surprised they got that, but I thought MK Dons absolutely outplayed them today. Second half, quite surprised that they didn't lose, perfectly honest. When that goal went in from Daniel Harvey, who should have been sent off, it sounds like he should have been. We didn't really see what actually happened off the ball, but that's poor defending there. Can't let that go in. That cross should have been... That was easy cross to clear. And then it just went in, and then Flynn Downs went off. 10 men, I don't know how they survived, but a point on the road, I guess I'll take that. I know they dropped points, but it's not a loss at the end of the day. Still points, but should have... It was close. I just don't know how they didn't lose today, but I think my man of match has to be Thomas Holy. He kept us in the game. Even though he didn't keep a clean sheet, he kept us in the game. So good saves, especially that one late in the first half. Could have easily gone for his legs. Lucky with that one. And then that double save as well, which he cleaned up his own mess. He sort of spilled the ball, got that double save. But disappointed today, but move on to the next one.
I think we have to be fairly content, really, with picking up a point at Milton Keynes. Don't want to call them the Dons because they're not actually AFC Wimbledon, but call me old-fashioned. I'm fairly content that we didn't really threaten too much. We were fairly disjointed, and I think we did fairly well holding on with 10 men for however long it was. Half an hour, 35 minutes. Really strange game actually. We looked pretty much like what we did last season at times. No threat, no guts, no guile or anything like that. But I think we have to be happy. There was times when we looked fairly decent, and player of the game for me, Toto. Didn't think I'd be saying that, to be honest, but here we are. He was an absolute man mountain. Had to change my commentary over to BBC Radio 3 Counties because that was actually in sync. Whereas our own commentary sadly wasn't. It was about half a second out as per usual, which is just a little niggle. But no, I think we have to be content. We're still unbeaten and we're still up there. So there we go.
I did a bit of extensive research into MK Dons beforehand and listened to a podcast, and they hoped that their game against Crewe was an outlier because they've been playing well. Well, kind of hope that this one is an outlier for us. I thought we were just so slow to the ball. We were nothing real sort of positivity staying our play either. It felt more like a 4-5-1 than a 4-3-3. There was quite a few errors that we got away with. But at the same time, I think Russell Martin probably made a bit of an error himself, not going a bit more attacking towards the end there. They controlled the game because they had 5 at the back, plus a hold midfielder, so it was 4 against 1 in there in the midfield. At the base of it anyway. And if he'd have been a bit more positive with it, they'd probably be walking away with 3 points. But because he wasn't, I think not necessarily Lambert's wrongdoings, but Russell Martin's wrongdoings is why we've come away with a point today. Lambert's wrongdoing for me was making 3 changes on the 55th minute. I mean, I didn't get that at all, and it was obvious that Jackson wasn't going to come on today because his pace would have killed him in behind. Obviously, he wasn't fit, so I don't really see why he was on the bench. I mean, that was the obvious change to make. And then with that, he did it last year. We had a player come off, and then we're spending the last 20 minutes again with 10 men. So all in all, I'm kind of happy because we got out of a point and we're still unbeaten, but an opportunity missed. And the players just looked a bit off it today, so hopefully it's an outlier. Man of the match for me would probably be James Wilson. I thought Toto was good, but I feel I'd give this to Wilson because he has gone under the radar. A couple of lovely runs into midfield as well. And just generally solid again. And I think you've got to give it to someone in that defence because going forward, we didn't really do enough. So Chambers, he wants to play that centre-half role too much in a way. I mean, a couple of times there, he comes in too far field, leaves him out at the back post, and that's what led to the goal. His man was free. But overall, I'm happy to get out of a point, but not too happy with the performance. I'm sure Mr. Lambert won't be either.
Somebody said to me at the start of the season, we'll have 10 points after 4 games. I would have said, that will do us. Thanks very much. So that's what I'm going to say. That will do us. Thanks very much because, you know, we haven't played great teams and we haven't played even good teams, I don't think, but we've still got 3 wins and a draw. There was bits of the game you could be quite critical about today, but, you know, playing, a third of the game with 10 men or 25 minutes, whatever it was, with 10 men to hang on for a draw, which it felt like we were hanging on. I think this time last season we would have lost that in the 92nd minute or the 94th minute. So I'm pleased we hung on really. I think first off we played some nice football in places. Dazelle saw plenty of the ball earlier on. I thought Nolan was really promising in the first maybe 30 minutes. Then they seemed to get a foothold in the game. Got to say, my man of the match would be Toto. I've given him a bit of stick in the past, but he's been really good this season so far, and he's grown in confidence. He puts his body in the way. He's really good at getting in there and making those interceptions. Maybe one lapse just before half-time, but generally he was excellent. I think Wilson alongside him. Disappointing that Ward went off because I think we lost something when he went off. Yeah. Especially, not only did we lose his shape and play and his general footballing ability, but we lost a bit of character as well. And for me, I know this one probably please you, but Kenlock was the worst player on the pitch by a long way. So that worries me. I hope Ward's not out for long. I still think we could have beaten MK Dons though, but in the grand scheme of things, we've got 10 points from possible 12. Let's go onwards and upwards, and maybe it keeps us a bit level pegged as well, so we're not getting too carried away. My dad's just messaged me to say they've moved ahead of us in the table. Hull City are top, so Lincoln are top, aren't they? And then Hull City are second, and we're third. So my dad's a happy boy, but yeah, not too bad really overall. Could have been better, but we'll settle for the point.
I'm not happy, to be honest with you. I get it wasn't going to go on forever, but MK Dons, they look like a good side, but they're not top 10 side for me. And to perform the way we did is abysmal in my eyes. Get the goal first half, good goal. It's good that ball in. I did think it was a penalty as well, to be fair, on Bishop, but it doesn't matter. It was in the back of the net. Obviously, Ginger Pello scoring the goal, but then against a run of play as well. It looked positive to begin with, and then Lambert made a mistake in not bringing Downs on at half time. I feel like we were already losing that midfield battle before their second half started. On Downs much sooner than he did. I know we went off injured, but I always think, these things happen, but if they happen at a different time, it's going to change the course of the game. He might not have gone off injured. We could have finished with 11 men. It's a point. We're still top 6, but I think the longer the season goes on, and we're going to have harder challenges than that, and we're going to struggle. But yeah, I've got this jumper on, so I might as well. I'm off.